since I am a virgin. The angel answered her, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, will come over you, and the power of Ha-Elyon will cover you. Therefore the holy child born to you will be called the Son of God. You have a relative, Elizabeth, who is an old woman, and everyone says she is barren, but she has conceived a son and is 6 months pregnant. For with God nothing is impossible. Miriam said, I am the servant of Adonai. May it happen to me as you have said. So this is a same thing that happened to Sarah, who was old and barren, and yet she bore Isaac. And yet she bore Isaac. All right. Now, let me get to the next week is Hayyei Sara, the death of Sarah, in Genesis 23rd chapter, verse 1 through 25:18, the death of Sarah.
Oh.
And I'm sorry?
You go ahead, I'll mention it afterwards.
Okay. V'yahu Hayyei Sara mea shana, v'asrim shana, v'sheva shanim, shnei chaya Hayyei Sara. Sarah's lifetime, the span of Sarah's life, came to 127 years. And that, let me just go on, just for the sake of our brief podcast. That, that parashah is divided into two parts. The first part is called the death of Sarah, Genesis 23, 1 to 20. And the second part is Rebecca at the well, Genesis 24, 1 through 25, 18. And so this has a lot going on here, where we will see the death of Sarah plus the Isaac getting a wife, Rebecca, at the well. So there's a lot going on after his mother died, and then we will see that his father sends Eliezer, if I'm not mistaken, to find a wife from, and then it also mentions Rebecca in the genealogy. In the last part of this, our reading for today in 20, is it 21? Okay, 20. It talks about the offspring of Abraham's brother, and then it mentions Rebecca because they know, yes, in 23, Bethuel became the father of Rebecca. And so he was naming all the sons. Rebecca is the daughter of Bethuel. And they did that deliberately because Rebecca, as we're going to study in Hayyei Sara, will become the wife of Isaac, Yitzchak, which means he will laugh. Yitzchak, he will laugh. And that's part of what Sarah did and what Abraham did. Laughter is what he brought, Yitzchak. So we look forward to discussing that Torah portion, Hayyei Sara. And what did you want to say?
Yeah, well, after the binding, when Abraham returned, it just says, so Abraham returned unto his young men. It didn't say anything about Isaac returning. Some say he went off somewhere for some teachings, or God just took him out for taught him some things. But here, it's true, it didn't say that Abraham and Isaac returned, only that Abraham returned. And shortly after that, the servant was told to Sarah. And then
Inuel did it.
And I said, Sarah heard that message and just died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a safe.
That's what the sages say.
That's what the sages say.
But the scripture does say that Abraham returned. It didn't say anything about Isaac returning. And after that, talks a little genealogy, and the next thing is Sarah's death.
Yeah. Hayyei Sara.
Maybe something to it.
Maybe something to this true. So we'll study that this coming week.
Although it also says, talks about the life of Sarah, but then in the next verse it talks about, and she died.
And she died.
Yeah.
Well, the blessing after the Torah study, Baruch atah Adonai, and it's the Yud Vav Hashem Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher notan lanu torat emet bechai olam nit'a betorachenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Blessed are, this is from last week. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who gave us the Torah of truth and set everlasting life in our midst. Blessed art thou, O Lord, giver of the Torah. And we have done what God has asked us to do. We've studied his word, and he will impart to us today what we need for the coming week. And we have to become dependent on him. If we've never been dependent on him before, we need to become dependent on him now to impart to us what we need in order to sustain us for this coming week. He sustained us as far as food is concerned. We have lots of food for the body. That we have. We have a splendid feast planned for the Shabbat, and it lasts. That's the thing about it. It will last. And what he has planned for us is a feast for the Spirit. And we will receive that feast through his Torah, through these words that he spoke and that brought everything into existence, that holds everything together. These words in this Torah holds everything on this earth together. These very words of the Hebrew alphabet. And so we thank him, and we thank him for what he's going to give us in order to sustain us spiritually for the week to come. We look forward to that. That's why we sit quietly on the Shabbat, on the seventh day, waiting for him, not having to go out to get anything. And again, it reminds me of about the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, and they're waiting for the bridegroom. And the matter of fact, let me read that. Let me read that, because I think it has great significance for us in what the Lord is trying to tell us about Torah study, about what it means. And it talks about the oil of the foolish, that the bride has. And just give me a minute to look it up. And I will read it from the New Testament. It's in Matthew 25. And again, it speaks to us in terms of honoring the seventh day, because we are those, hopefully, the wise brides. Because we have our oil and we're waiting here for the bridegroom. And we don't have to go out and buy more oil. And so in the Matthew 27, Matthew 25, I'm sorry. Matthew 25 is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven at that time will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went out to meet the groom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were sensible. The foolish ones took lamps with them but no oil. whereas the others took flasks of oil with their lamps. Now the bridegroom was late, so that they all went to sleep. It was the middle of the night when the cry rang out, "The bridegroom is here, go out to meet him." The girls all woke up and prepared their lamps for lighting. The foolish ones said to the sensible ones, "Give us some of your oil, because our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for both you and us. Go to the oil dealers and buy some for yourselves." But as they were going off to buy, the bridegroom came. Those who were ready went with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. Later the other bridesmaids came. "Sir, sir," they cried, "let us in." But he answered, "Indeed, I tell you, I don't know you. So stay alert, because you know neither the day nor the hour." And that's why, again, he tasked us with getting twice as much as we need on the sixth day, so that when he comes on the seventh day, which is here, we don't have to go out looking for oil. We're right here with him, and he's imparting to us what we need to know for the rest of the week. The bridegroom is here with us. We don't have to go out and earn any money for the oil. He has provided that, matter of fact, so magnificently on the seventh day. It is on him. And the only thing we have to do is sit before him and listen to him and plug back into him. So we just thank him for this feast that he has provided. And what a feast it is that he has provided for this day. Oh my gosh. He has provided a magnificent feast. Beautiful flowers for our table. Oh, just everything we need. We need nothing but to sit here before him. That when we get up in the morning, that the wonderful feast that he has prepared for our breakfast. And then during the day, we will again feast on his words from the Torah and listen to some of the teachers expound on those words. And so we are so excited. We just thank him for what he has done for us. I just can't even, we're just excited. And so we're glad that others are joining us. If you're listening to us, that you're gleaning something from what we are saying, that you're gleaning something from it that will encourage you to celebrate the seventh day Sabbath. And that is only a beginning, because once you start celebrating it, you will begin to study his word, study his laws, study his instructions to teach us how to be victorious in this life on this earth. So we normally close out with a song. And nobody's raising their hand, so I'm going to have to choose a song. Mm-hmm. And I think it is what, because I sent this song to, and I think we will remember the words. Let me just look them up. I think you will know them. It was, I sent this to a friend, and he said that it was timely. And we're going to sing "It Is Well With My Soul." Now, if you know anything about that song, do you know who wrote it, John? No. I will tell you, and then it will become more meaningful. I forgot until I had looked it up again. It's penned by a hymnist, Horatio Spafford, and composed by Philip Blist. First published in Gospel Hymn number 2 in 1876. And the background, this hymn was written after traumatic events in Spafford's life. The first two were the death of his 4-year-old son and the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which ruined him financially. He had been a successful lawyer and had invested significantly in property in the area of Chicago that was extensively damaged by the Great Fire. His business interests were further hit by the economic downturn of 1873, at which time he had planned to travel to England with his family on the SS Villa du Havre to help with D.L. Moody's upcoming evangelistic campaigns. In a late change of plan, he sent the family ahead while he was delayed on business concerning zoning problems following the Great Chicago Fire. While crossing the Atlantic Ocean, the ship sank rapidly after a collision with the sea vessel the Loch Earn, and all 4 of Spafford's daughters died. His wife Anna survived and sent him the now famous telegram, "Saved alone." Shortly afterwards, as Spafford traveled to meet his grieving wife, he was inspired to write these words as his ship passed near where his daughters had died. Bliss called his tune Villa du Havre, in the name of the stricken vessel. And so we'll sing, "It is well with my soul." When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul. And the last verse. And Lord, haste the day when the faith shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll, the trump shall resound, and the Lord shall descend, a singing, it is well on my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul. We thank the Lord for this time we've had with Him during this evening of Shabbat, when we ushered in the Shabbat. And we thank Him for what He's doing in our lives, that He is magnificent, that He is using us for a mighty work here on this earth during the time that we have. We thank Him for the Torah. We thank Him for what He's going to reveal to us between now and the sundown tomorrow, that the many things that He will reveal to us. We thank Him. And we are in awe of Him. We praise His holy name. We magnify His name. And we say, "Hineni, here I am, Lord. Use us to fulfill that which you have purposed for us, so that when we see you, when we cross that great divide, and we come face to face with you, you will say, 'Well done, thy good and faithful servant.'" That is what we're wanting to hear when we see you face to face. "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." So we say,
Shabbat. Have a good week.
and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The whole world is waiting. Sing the sound of Shabbat. The whole world is waiting. Sing the sound of Shabbat. The whole world is waiting to sing the song of Sabbath. The whole world is waiting. Sing the song of Shabbat. I'm also waiting, waiting to sing the song. I'm also waiting to sing the song of Sabbath. Shabbat shalom.